Hey class. Okay, so this is round like 2 of my screencast video that I'm creating for you. I seriously just made a video for you that did not have audio. So I talked for about 7 minutes and none of it is to be heard. So that's awesome. So let's start this again. Maybe it'll be shorter now because now I know exactly what I'm saying. Hi. Okay, so for your project, right now, you should have your grid drawn out. You should have your letter forms drawn out on your grid, like you see on the left here, as I'm kind of swooshing through here. I did comment and said today to a lot of you, make sure that letter forms are overlapping. I want to see some variation. So before you start your project, I'd really make sure that you just go back and kind of extend some of those letter forms out and make sure they overlap. So the left picture is where you're at right now, right? The right picture is where you want to be, your final product. So let me explain this to you a little bit. All right, what's going on here and what I'd like to see from you. So I want to see you use color, and I want to see you use pattern, and I would like to see you use positive, negative, like black and white. You can see all that happening in this picture on the right. When you gave me feedback today, majority of you said that you have a ton of art materials that you can work with, which is great. So I'm glad that I'm hearing even just your basic Sharpie, colored pencil, marker, because that's all you really need for this. Unless you want to go crazy and add more, that's fine. I'd like to see your letter forms in color, and I'd like to see your background in black and white. Okay, so let me explain the color aspect to you first, and then I'll explain the black and white aspect to you after. So you can see here in the picture on the right that all of the letter forms are in color, besides the 3, obviously, is in black and white, but I would like to see any letter forms, numbers, symbols that you create in color on this. This is not my example. This is one that I found online that I'm using, so I'm going to talk you through it. But what you can see with the color, and this is what I want you to play around with and be playful with, is that the letter forms are in color, but they're broken into a variety of color between each letter form. So I want you to pay close attention to how they did this. You created your grid, where you created these cells, right? Each cell has something different happening within it. So if we were to look at the A, the top of the A is like a dark green. If we go into the next cell, you see that that green gets cut off and it becomes blue. Into the following cell becomes green again. So it creates this pattern of back and forth type of repetition. You can see the 5, the same thing occurring throughout. With color, depending if you use marker or colored pencil, with colored pencil you can do a lot of cool techniques, like the more pressure you put on the pencil, the darker it will be, and the less pressure you put, the lighter it will be, so it'll create like a nice gradient from a dark to a light color. You can't really do that as much with marker, but you can see that it's happening throughout a lot of these letter forms. And you can see that there's a lot of change from one cell to the next, right? They keep changing. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Some of them are a little bit different. The pattern works a little bit differently here, I guess, or maybe not so much, but like in this case, the Q, it starts off blue, goes into this pink type of nicely rendered gradation of like a dark pink into a lighter pink. Then into the next cell, the blue kind of changes. It becomes a vertical line and then pops up and overlaps on top of the 5, right? So I want you to have fun and be playful with the color. Think about colors that you're using. Think about how we've looked at color throughout this year, and just have fun with it. Same with the background. So you can see in the background, each cell is a different pattern, right, or texture. Something different is happening in each of them. To be honest, this is fun to me. Like, this is something that you could do sitting on the couch watching TV and create doodles within some of them. For the background, I want it to be black and white. I want you to look closely at pattern and shapes and repetition and be playful with it. You can use a Sharpie marker. You could use a really dark pencil. You could use a black colored pencil, as long as it's some sort of darker shade of black or gray. So you can see some of the cool patterns that are occurring, but you can also see in some of them they left the cells maybe like more of a grayscale, like shading with pencil, totally fine. Some of them are just black, some of them are just white. Please don't make all of them white and black, all right? Please be thoughtful and plan out where you're going to put these patterns and shapes and whatnot. You can have diagonal lines, vertical lines. You can see that some of these positive, negative, black and white patterns run through one, stop, and then run through another, which I think is a fun illusion. So this is kind of what I want to see from you. Please know that I'm actually extending the due date, and I don't know if I did already, but I will, to Monday of next week. All right, so you're going to be working on this tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. All right, with the idea that we're still working from home. If we happen to, in some way, be back at school, obviously we will work it out by the end of the week and figure out, when you need to be handing these in to me. But see the project like this. I'm giving you 4 days because I feel like this is time consuming, and I'd like to see at least like your progress every day. So I would like to see like 25% of it completed each day. So tomorrow I'd like to see 25% of it done. Thursday 50, Friday 75, Monday 100%. And I think that's pretty fair. So you can start with whatever you want. If you want to start with color, start with color. If you want to start with black and white, start with black and white. If you want to work on both at the same time, that's fine. But just make sure that when you're looking at it, that when you send me your progress, that it's roughly around the percentage that I'm asking for. You can work in quarters around the picture, right? And split it up. Or maybe, your quarter is like, I don't know, all like 3 letters. So you can kind of like work it out that way, but really just want to see your progress. So I'm going to also write this in our post, but for your assignment for tomorrow, I would like to see 25% of it completed and attached and uploaded. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I have my email open all day long, and I make sure to check it all the time and answer as many questions as I can to help you all out. I hope that I can see all of you sooner than later, as I do miss all of you and would love to be back in school. And yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know, and good luck.